Jujutsu Kaisen is a show that has taken multiple attempts for me to ever sink my teeth fully into, despite literally doing everything that I love when it comes to anime in such an original way that clearly has never been done before. Like, ever been done before. No one is doing this.
I don't want to hear it from someone who last week was a clueless normie! Now get moving!
Despite the similarities that it has with other anime, it is still one that I've kind of struggled to get into, which is kind of odd because it did have such a strong first season. A lot of the character designs are some of the coolest ones that I've seen in anime, and in fact I have multiple on my shelf as we speak, despite this really not being my favorite anime of all time. Even the fight scenes in Jujutsu Kaisen are some of the most dopest fight scenes that I've ever seen, and honestly make up 90% of why that show is so freaking cool. But even with all my positives about the show, for some reason it feels like Thor's hammer every time I try to pick this thing up. Call me Tony Stark the way I just be fumbling the hammer. Not every issue that I have can be blamed single-handedly on Gojo, but neither can any positive that I have about this show be placed on Gojo as well. Man, fuck Gojo. I'm definitely the kind of person that can have a little bit of biasy when it comes to certain anime, and I can be a little bit of a ride or die when it comes to certain anime as well. Like when Jujutsu Kaisen came out, I kind of checked it off as just another show that was basically just Chainsaw Man 2.0. I mean, I was definitely wrong for this, but I didn't really understand the hype that everyone else was on at the time. And if I'm gonna be real, I just didn't like that Gojo kind of fixed every single issue that came up. I understand a little bit more why that is the case now and why that's such an important part of Jujutsu Kaisen, but I'll talk about that soon. I think of other things that I checked off with it at the start as well as the fact that it had a little bit more playfulness to it, in a way that, you know, it wasn't just like your serious sort of anime all the time. The comedy was very much injected into it here and there, which is definitely nothing wrong with that sort of thing happening at the time. For whatever reason, I just didn't mess with that idea. I was just being a little edgelord, if I'm gonna be real. To me, when it comes to my feelings on Jujutsu Kaisen, it's the same feelings that I have when it comes to Harry Potter. In fact, the show is kind of like Harry Potter. I'm a what?
You're a first grade sorcerer, Harry. Now quickly, we're gonna dunk on these fools. Up and away.
Oh my god. And if you don't believe me, here is my checklist. Both are in hidden schools that train students to fight supernatural threats. The magical world is kept secret from normal society. Teachers are extremely powerful and erratic. The main character is an orphan and has a mysterious family background. There's a group of people that just want sorcerers to be the only people that exist. A powerful entity lives inside the main character. That's an important one. Jujutsu High School is basically just Hogwarts. This is Ron. This is Hermione. Still unconfirmed, this might just be Dobby. We work with what we got. Man, to be honest, I could go on all day. Basically, Gojo is Dumbledore, and we just kind of got to accept that. But the reason that I feel the same way that I do about Harry Potter when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen is for the simple fact that there's so many arcs that I love within Harry Potter, but they're scattered too far in between. And that can be applied to the same reasons that I have when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen. I think the movie and the whole arc with Utah is probably one of the best in Jujutsu Kaisen, and the backstory told with Geto and Gojo is also really well done. I think where a lot of my problems lie is definitely in the main storyline that is told within Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't really have beef with Yuji as a character, but for whatever reason, I kind of find that he's outshined by everyone else. Megumi and his storyline and everything going on over there is a lot more interesting to me than what Yuji has going on. For the longest time, the Jujutsu Kaisen movie was the only thing I really cared about when it came to Jujutsu Kaisen. Drink every time I say Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen. And I definitely could be wrong about this, but I feel like that's kind of the point to Yuji's character. You're meant to care a lot more about everyone else around you because once they get taken away, it kind of hits really hard. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these thoughts that I've just explained are kind of outdated. I can tell you exactly where I gained respect for this show though, and where Jujutsu Kaisen to me finally started to become a show that I was more interested in, and that is 100% contributed to the Shibuya arc. One of the major players in the game literally gets taken out completely. Freaking Gojo gets captured. The man that literally stops every single problem this show has is now completely gone. Us as the fans are in distraught. The wife of the creator that wrote the book is absolutely in distraught. I actually still can't believe she said this shit. We as the audience and the characters at the exact moment feel the pressure that is placed upon us at this moment because everything that could go wrong goes wrong. This was absolutely more than the sorcerers could handle, and you can feel that. time. There are genuinely so many characters that we've grown to love that die during this arc, and that includes on both sides. I went from hating this guy to genuinely being a big fan of him and his motives. He was single-handedly able to go toe-to-toe with Lord Voldemort, and that's an achievement, man, because this guy is a badass. He is the kind of guy that would just kill you for talking in his direction. This arc genuinely added so much that I didn't know that I needed when it came to Jujutsu Kaisen. This was the moment that I realized that that was the point of Gojo's character. The reason that he was so overpowered is because he kept the peace in the world. It was genuinely such a smart move to kind of just take him out of the show. If the one guy that stops everything's gone, are the people that are left even strong enough to face what's around? No, they're not. Sort of. Everybody takes a massive blow, like characters are losing limbs, losing their lives, losing their eyeballs. There isn't a single character that doesn't get absolutely dunked on in this arc, except for maybe the lazy guy and the panda bear. I feel like they had it the easiest. Can't even remember what they did. Just like the first couple of movies of Harry Potter, I find Harry Potter gets its best when we reach Prisoner of Azkaban. And I know this is technically old news. I am 100% late when it comes to this show. I'm only just catching up now and haven't even made it to the 3rd season. But for the first time in my life, I am fully invested in Jujutsu Kaisen and honestly have gained such a large respect for it. This honestly gave me more of appreciation for Yuji as a character. This man really goes through it during this particular moment in the story. And I only imagine that it gets worse for him going forward. I could be completely wrong about Yuji on this one, but I feel like he definitely is a character that's meant to represent us as the audience. He moves when we yell at the screen telling him to move in moments where he just needs to get going. Go on, Yuji. Move them legs. Move them legs, Yuji. Why aren't you moving, man? Come on, get up. Please, we need you, man. I really can't understate how much this show has grown on me throughout the years, and it's taken me a long time to do so, but still, I'm very appreciative of this show and have gained so much love for it. I don't think I'll ever reach that rush that I get when I read Chainsaw Man or dive into literally anything there, because to be honest, Chainsaw Man is just kind of in a league of its own. But I would be lying if I said Jujutsu Kaisen isn't getting up there. But I still love it for the same reasons that I fell in love with anime. It just hits the mark, and in the simplest way that I could ever put it, it's just become such a vibe. There's still a lot that I need to grow and love and genuinely appreciate when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen, but right now, as we speak, it has definitely become one of my most anticipated animes. I've been seeing a lot more clips from the newer season, apparently there's like a Kill Bill reference thing going on, and I'm low-key kind of messing with the idea of that. Everyone might not have the same opinion as me on this one, but it definitely is a show that I feel needs to grow on you, and for which it has grown on me. Alright, pause the video. I just caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's too epic not to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the Culling Games. If the Shibuya arc was the arc to get me finally interested in Jujutsu Kaisen, this is the arc that genuinely has sold me on Jujutsu Kaisen. The things they've introduced, the fact that the culling game is a thing, though I'm still trying to understand the rules because that chick was explaining things way too fast in a way that was way too complicated for my little brain to even understand. I'm pretty sure she's still explaining the rules as we speak. So the quarterback's going to take the receiver and the receiver's going to take the quarterback, and you're going to make the decision here, but it's going to lead to the final moment where the things are going to happen. Please, don't understand. This is a season where things have clearly changed for our characters. The way that the sorcerers are basically disbanded all around the globe. Everyone is on lockdown and being hunted, and it is absolutely blowing my mind. We are losing characters more so left and right than we were before. It's like we jumped straight from the Goblet of Fire straight to the fucking Deathly Hallows Part 2. Things are absolutely insane right now. Maki has solidified herself as the top 1 badasses of badasses. She has become the Toji for the boys, and we are eating well. To be honest with you, the stakes couldn't have felt more higher in this season alone. Failure of any kind could lead to the destruction of the world that we know it. If everyone is strong and elevated as a new human race, the moment that collapses, everything shuts down and everyone turns evil. We are truly living in a moment of impending doom. I'm stressed for my boys. For whatever happened along the way, this season feels like its most exciting season. It feels like Jujutsu Kaisen has genuinely found its footing and found its story to tell. But at least for me anyway, probably not for everybody. I know a lot of people have been here already and have been telling me that this is hype. And you know what? I understand the hype now. Once again, this season has re-solidified my idea when it comes to Gojo. He was a symbol of peace in a time where peace was peaceful. and now he's gone. And I can't believe that I'm actually going to say this myself, but I want Gojo to come back, because the way the world is right now, I just don't see it ending very happily. There's really not much else that I can really say on this outside of it's just kind of hit its peak, and I can only imagine that it goes up from here. As of right now, not all the episodes are out, but still I am excited to watch this week to week. I think I can confidently say now that Jujutsu Kaisen is definitely one of my favorite shows. And despite me being a little bit of an idiot when it comes to trying to pick this thing up, the fact that it took me this long is kind of dumb, but we're here now and we're embracing it. You know what, Jujutsu Kaisen? You're right, dude. You're right.